If you guys have ever learned a Rebecca split before, then I think you're going to like this sequence. Today we are learning what I call an upside down Rebecca shape on the Aerial Silks. Now it's not a split, but you have to get into it a similar way you would get into the Rebecca split, so hence the name that I made up for it. Now I'm going to call this an advanced beginning sequence because even though it is not as physically challenging as a lot of other sequences, you do kind of have to know what you're doing. Plus your head directly faces the ground. So also please make sure you practice with a safety mat underneath you, especially if you're learning this for the very first time. Before we get into today's tutorial, I just want to give a quick shout out to Body and Pole where I am filming this. They are a great aerial and pole studio located in the heart of New York City. I'm a substitute teacher there, Laurie Bloom. Keep an eye out for me on the schedule. I'd love to have you in some of my classes. But if you like other apparatuses, they also have hoop, hammock, pole. There's flexibility classes there. It's basically a great studio. Also, I'd be tickled pink if you would please hit the like and subscribe button with the notification bell on. It really supports me and my channel. All right, that's the intro. Let's get into the sequence. Now, if the silks you're working on has a decent amount of tail, you can do this from the ground. I'm just going a climb up just so I can demo for you guys a little higher. You start by putting a single figure 8 foot lock on one of your feet. Once that lock is on your foot, keep that leg straight and come up into a standing position, bringing your pelvis close to the live end of the silks. Now, this part is similar to the Rebecca split. You need to trap the loose end of the silks in your armpit as you lean over towards your standing leg. Teachers teach this part different ways. I like to teach it by wrapping a single wrist wrap up my wrist. The free silks glides down my back, and then I use my other hand to grab that silks and throw it over my lap. I do a little hand switch here. I use the hand that just threw the silks over my lap to grab the live end of the silks, and keeping the silks in my armpit, I like to loosen it up a little here. I grab the tail from my lap and I bring it to meet the silks in my armpit at about waist level. Once I feel a solid grip on both silks, I start leaning backwards and then open my free leg so I can hook the knee from the outside to the inside of the silks. Now, if you want, you can pause for a cause here, lean back and make this pretty dramatic shape. Now, I like to keep the hand on those two silks because honestly, they're not really tied up or knotted or anything. They're barely holding you in. I do know some people that like to release both hands there, but I advise against it. Moving along, once I have completed my shape drama, I bring both hands to the live end of the silks that my knee is not hooked on. As I climb up those silks, I start shooting my bent knee straight, bringing my chest towards my hands. I'm not really doing anything special here, but this is a nice little place to pause and do a few arm waves if you are in the middle of a performance. But to complete the final shape of this sequence, once your body has come in between the silks, you'll start lowering yourself out the other side. As you lower, your foot-locked leg is going to come behind the silks. Now, this is where people mess up, so really watch this, and you'll sickle it. From there, you're kind of hooked in. This is another situation where I don't feel comfortable completely letting go, so I like to keep one hand on the silks, but the other hand you can use to do what you want with. You can give yourself a little spin like I'm doing here. You can use it to grab that back foot, make a little back bendy shape, whatever you want. When you're ready to get out, you're going to come up back the way you came in. So if you forget, a good way to remember is that the sickled foot has to go back behind the silks and you have to pull your body up back through the center of the silks. Now you may have to give yourself a little wiggle to get through the center, especially if you are female presenting with boobs. And then as you go through, you'll stick your booty back, rebend the original bent knee, and you're back in that first position before we started lifting. I feel like the cleanest way to get out of this shape is just to unhook that knee and then come into a crouched position over the locked foot. All the wraps kind of fall off of you, and then once you kick that foot off, you are free, good to go. I'm going to show this again. This time I'm not going to talk. You can just watch, and I'm going to play it at normal speed. And that's it. That's the tutorial for today, you guys. Once again, hit that like and subscribe button, especially if you gain value from this. It would be much appreciated. Also, if anything was confusing or if you have any requests for future tutorials, you can let me know that as well. Until the next time, I hope you all have a fit and fabulous day. Bye-bye.